Okay, so from the title of this video, you may have guessed what I'll be talking about. And I'm talking about this, and I know I'm kind of late, but I'm talking about this because, it's just one of those things that it seems to be universal, that most people are just so sad that it's gone and don't understand how this could have happened. But the thing about Girl Meets World is I was surprised that it got past the first season. I have watched every episode, and I have enjoyed the episodes. But the thing is that Disney set out to make almost a reboot of Boy Meets World in creating the spin-off Girl Meets World. But the thing about that is, and I'll be saying the thing about that is, or the thing is a lot in this video, most likely, is that they couldn't, first of all, because Girl Meets World was New Disney, and Boy Meets World was an iconic show, especially for its time. And first of all, Disney has a lot of issues when it comes to reboots. They try to make it too much like the old show, like the original, and in doing that, they New Disney it, which basically means that even though they're trying to bring back those great times when Disney was at its height of greatness, was at the height of its greatness, and it just doesn't work out, because they don't have those same writers. And I think that the writers that they do have are in that mentality that they have to bring it back, that they don't try to bring in new and fresh ideas, that although they are new, that they are similar to what it was, but with their own unique twist. And Girl Meets World, while it did press on a lot of different subjects that are important to youths, the show just became about spreading those messages. Boy Meets World just always etched those messages and talked about those topics in a way that was interesting and captivating and really tied into a situation. And it was more of that situation happened, but they moved on and they had other stuff going on. But with Girl Meets World, the show just was, okay, here's the situation, that's what the whole episode is going to be about, is just this one big message that we're trying to send, and then the episode will be over, we'll come back with a new message next week, and that just wasn't even close to the essence of Boy Meets World. It was basically just a completely different show with Boy Meets World characters. That's really just exactly what it was, actually. And they had some issues with dialogue as well, from my perspective. They just made it seem like a scripted series. It really did seem scripted. And Boy Meets World never sounded scripted. Boy Meets World, you lived through it with them. And because I do watch Boy Meets World, I watch the reruns now that they show on TNIC. And with Girl Meets World, you could tell that this wasn't them. So, and I actually talked to Dylan Snyder about this in the first season. The concepts of the situations that they presented were great in theory. It was just the way that they presented them that could have picked up and been a little better. And the way that they played out the love triangle between Maya, Lucas, and Riley was just confusing to me, at least, because I mean, yeah, they're at that point where they're really trying to find their identity and who they really are. I'm still doing that. But the way that they did it for Maya to only have feelings for Lucas because she was becoming her best friend, it kind of didn't really make sense, especially because they reintroduced Josh, and they didn't do that really until after they had realized all of that about Maya. And it was kind of like, okay, to go through all of that with Josh that she went through, which I was actually going through a similar thing, and that kind of just really spoke to me and jumped out at me. Just like it got me right in the feels. But to have gone through all of that and just basically stalked the boy and talked about how she had these deep feelings for him and would wait for him and, you know, all of that, to just all of a sudden develop these feelings for Lucas because she's becoming Riley. It didn't really make sense to me. And in Lucas's reasoning for choosing Riley, like, it just, the conversation that they had after he had made his choice, it just seemed anticlimactic. Like, they had made this whole big deal about who he was going to choose, and, I mean, everyone kind of knew that he was going to choose Riley. I mean, those Lucaya posts and fans, were kind of hoping, but we all knew that, I mean, Disney was definitely going to pair Lucas and Riley together, because it's Disney. It was, like, late, it was late 2010s Disney. So, I mean, but they had made such a big deal all for them to just talk about a leaf, basically. And the way that they tied in, I'm forgetting her name, but the mountain girl's son into the whole situation, just so much going on. I mean, you have Maya's feelings for Josh coming back, and Maya realizing that she doesn't like Lucas, and Riley really wanting Lucas to choose her, and Lucas not knowing who to choose. And then you have the mountain girl's son, who we don't really figure that out until, I didn't, until the end. But her son just coming out of nowhere and then, like, trying to get them together, not even just okay. So there were a lot of issues with the show that I saw. In theory, it was a pretty good idea. I'm sad to know that Girl Meets World has been canceled, but I kind of expected it. I saw it coming. So, and, you know, there are some really good actors. I think that their talents were wasted because of the script writing. Corey Fogelman is actually really good. And, Sabrina Carpenter and, basically, the whole cast, really. Especially the girl that played Ava. She is really talented as a kid actress so far. So I think that their talents were really wasted. So basically, there were so many things that they could have changed to make the show better, and they just didn't. That's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure that everyone has their own opinion on this, but let me know yours if you care to comment, because it's interesting to see people's take on this.